Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm going to be doing another drawing tutorial today, and this time I'm going to be doing another tessellation. Now this one is going to be a corgi tessellation, so if you really like corgis, then definitely follow along with me as I make this awesome and cute little puzzle that's just full of corgis. So a tessellation is going to be when you have a shape that repeats itself over and over on a page, and they all fit together just like a puzzle. So I've already done a video like this that was a cat, but I thought today it might be fun to do a corgi because corgis are my favorite. And I'm going to try and maybe do a corgi video every Friday. So we're going to see how this goes. As you can see right in front of me, I have a marker, I have tape, and I have scissors. Then I also have this tiny little square. And I would say this square is about 3 inches on both sides. That's a really good size for you to use for this. You're going to want to make sure you have a little square of paper cut, and you want to make sure you have all of these supplies laid out right in front of you so that you can do this video along with me. So if you need to pause this video now so that you can get all of these things, go ahead and do so, and then you can start up again whenever you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get started right now though, and you'll see I'm going to start by drawing on one edge of this paper. So on that edge, I'm going to draw a very specific shape, and it's going to be basically the corgi's ears. So I'm going to do almost like a triangle, but it kind of round, a little hill, and then another triangle, but a little round. That's going to be the corgi's ears. Now you're probably wondering why I drew it this way. Well, once everything comes together, it'll make more sense. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this, then I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to tape it on the other side. I know this cutting isn't perfect, so I'm sorry if it bothers anybody that it's not the best cutting. And now you can see I've placed the piece that I just cut from right here, right up on the top of the shape on the opposite side. So I'm just going to place it like this, and then I'm going to tape it. Just like that. And it doesn't need to be perfect. You are going to trace around this shape later. So now I have this sort of shape. And if you need to pause the video so that you can catch up with me, just go ahead and pause it now and do what you need to do. But I'm going to continue, and I'm going to draw the corgi's tail. So what I'm going to do for this is really, really simple. I'm going to draw just a little bitty notch on the edge here. It looks like the letter C. And then I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to tape it to this side as well. That was an easy little piece. So now I have this little piece, and I want to put it on the opposite side from where I just cut it from. And I want to kind of make sure it's lined up so that it's just right in line with that other piece. And then I'm going to tape it on. You will need a very small piece of tape. Just like that. So now I have my tessellation shape, and this is about the way it should look. So you can see it's got the ears cut out the bottom and pasted to the top. Then the tail I cut out right here, and then I pasted it to the opposite side. And that's going to be what I'm going to trace every time on this video. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start tracing it. I would suggest that you go ahead and make sure that you have an 8x10 piece of paper. So even just a piece of computer paper would work for this. Or if you have a sketchbook, that's also perfect. You just want to make sure that it's not smaller than an 8x10 piece of paper. So you don't want it to be smaller than a piece of computer paper. And I want to make sure you can see that paper pretty well right there. All right. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my corgi and I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to trace around it. Now you'll notice that my tracing probably isn't going to be the very best tracing. That's because I am tracing with the paper facing upwards. So like this is up against a wall. So it's a little bit harder for me to trace. So it should be easier for you to trace since you'll just be working on a flat surface. Okay, so there's my first shape. Now to draw my next corgi, I'm just gonna put the shape right here, and you can see that fits perfect. It fits right into the bottom of the other shape. So now I'm gonna have a perfect little corgi for right in here. And then I'm just gonna trace it again. Oops. Just like that. And then I'm gonna trace it again. Actually, just a minute. Sorry. Now I'm gonna trace it again. And there we have it. So now we have one whole line of those corgis, and you can see mine actually goes down a little bit farther than what you can see. My camera can't quite get the whole picture in the frame. So now I'm going to do my next piece. And if you look, I have this little notch that's out of this corgi. I can fit that right there so that it just lines up with the one that I just made. And now we're ready to go. So you can see this piece that you made right at the beginning of this video is just like a puzzle piece. Every piece fits together based on the piece that you made right in the beginning. And it's just gonna look like there's dozens of corgis all over the paper by the time we're all done. And then there's one more right here. And if you want more corgis or more animals in this whole paper, I would suggest that when you make the square at the very beginning of this video, make it smaller than the 3 inches by 3 inches that I made. The smaller your square is that when you begin the video, the more of these shapes that you can fit all over your paper. It makes it a little bit harder because they are smaller, so it's gonna be harder to cut, but you will find that you can fit so many more of these little shapes all over. And then I'm gonna do my last little corgi right here. You're not gonna see too much of him. And then that's all you can see. Okay, so now that you have all of these shapes, you're probably wondering, why do we have all of these shapes and how are they gonna become corgis? I'm gonna go through that with you. So inside of each shape, you're gonna wanna draw all of these little corgi details. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a face in here, and then I'm gonna try and make 2 little paws in here. So to start, I'm gonna start right about here. I'm gonna draw a circle, and then I'm gonna draw another circle. And I'm gonna do my characteristic little white circles on the inside. Then I'm just gonna shade that all in. Okay. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make his nose. I'm gonna make it a little bit close to the eyes here, so it's like right in the middle, and it's right along the bottom of those eyes. So now you have the first little part of the face, and then I'm gonna make my sideways number 3. And then I'm gonna actually add a little T to the top of both of those edges of the 3 because that makes it look like he's smiling. And I'm gonna add a tongue because my corgi's tongue is always sticking out just like that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and draw the details of the face on this one. And each corgi can be totally different. So you could have one that just has a white snout. You could have one that's a tricolor corgi like mine. You could have one that has no white on the face at all. You can kind of do whatever you want. So I'm gonna start by making a corgi that looks pretty much like mine. So he has a little white section right up here that's like a little diamond. And then I'm gonna do a little pointy here, little pointy. Then I'm gonna have that go in between the eye and the little mouthpiece. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm gonna have it come down. I'm gonna have it come down. And then what I'm gonna do is my corgi has like white right here and he has like a little bit of brown right here. So I'm actually going to make this just like little shape right here, right here. And then I'm gonna give him a little bit of a chest poof because he's very fluffy right here. So I'm just going to do, it's kind of like a W, but with an extra little point. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give him two little feet that are gonna be standing on top of this corgi's head. So I'm gonna draw a line down right here. And then I'm gonna make a little paw right here. And that's gonna be his two little paws. So it's gonna be a little hard to see them, but he's just stacked on top of the one that's right underneath him. Then this little bump right here is supposed to be the tail. So you can't see too much of it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna draw a little back leg right here. And to do that, I'm just gonna make, it's kind of like a number 3, and then that little back paw. So then it just looks like he's sitting on top of this corgi's head. Then I'm gonna do my little ear details. So I'm gonna do a little letter M, and I'm gonna fill in that ear just like that. And then another little letter M, and fill in the ear, that triangle shape. And then he has two little eyebrows, and that's how my corgi looks. So the next one I'm gonna do, two little eyes, my nose, and then I'm gonna do my sideways number 3, my T, little tongue. And now I'm gonna do my face details. So this one, I'm gonna make like a white piece that goes from the forehead all the way down here. But this one is not a tricolor corgi, so he would just be the orange and white color. So I'm gonna do a line that comes down from the forehead, goes between those eyes, and goes over. Then a line that comes down from the forehead, between the eye and that little mouthpiece, and then over. Just like that. And then I'm gonna do his little chest fluff, my W with the third little point, my line down, a paw there, a paw there. Then I'm gonna do my back leg over here. See, it's just a number 3, and then that little back paw. And then I need to do my ear details. And that's my second corgi. Now the next one I'm gonna do is right here, and it's just gonna only show an eyeball. And that's okay. I'm gonna draw my half of a nose right here. Just like that. And then I think this one would also have the same detail as the one right next to him. And I'll do my ear detail and a little bit of a chest fluff and then a paw. And that's all you would see of that one. Now the next one down, I'm gonna do two eyes and a snout. And a tongue. Now this one, I'm not gonna make the white part of the forehead all the way up. This one I'm gonna give just a little snout. And then I'll do my little chest detail. My other leg. my ear. And then that's gonna be that corgi. And then let's do our next one. And if you don't like any of these details, you're always welcome to leave them out. So like if you decide you don't like the tail detail, you could actually just cut out the ears and do this like the ear corgi each one. You don't have to do that detail. You could decide to do all of the corgis exactly the same pattern. So you could all do them all like this, or all like this, or all like this. Everything is up to you. And if you want more details, you're welcome to do that as well. This video is just meant to help you figure out different ways that you can do this yourself. And this one's gonna have, sorry about that. And then on this corgi, I think I'm gonna add a little bit of extra detail like this, because some corgis have like a brown hat. It's like right here and right here. And you can see all of these look totally different, which is even more fun. And then I have one more set right here. And then the bottom ones, I think I'll just leave. This one I think I'm gonna give glass. Okay, so now that corgi has glasses. And then I'm gonna have one more eyeball right here, and a little nose. And then I'm just gonna add in those little ear details on these guys that you can't really see. And that is how you would make a corgi tessellation. I'm gonna back up just so that you can see all of them. Now, if you want, you can follow along totally with this video, or if you want, you can make totally different corgis. So like if you have something else in mind, you could make a unicorgi, like a corgi with a unicorn horn. You could make more with glasses. You could make one with a hat. You could do so many different things with this. And you can just see it looks really cool to have all of them fit together like a puzzle. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope we made some awesome corgi tessellations.